Hi there guys, it's Ed here from Vinyl Impression. We're today talking about company logos, and we're basically going to give you a quick roundup of what to choose, what materials we use, and basically what you get when you order a company logo. So basically, with our company logos, we basically offer you a size, and the size is based on the width of your logo. So when we talk about size and you look at the check down box that you've got in terms of options, we're looking at taking the width of your logo and scaling it up like that. So we don't squash your logo, we don't squeeze it or do anything else with it. What we're doing is talking about constraining the proportions of your logo and basically making it as big as the width will go. If you buy a 100 centimeter wide logo, which is our most popular width, that's the kind of, we're scaling it that high. If it's 100 high by 100 wide, that's so be it. So that's how we work the sizing when we're talking about your logo, basically. So that's number one. Number two is talking about the materials that we use. Now we have three main materials that we tend to use when printing people's company logos. We will use a removable material, and when we're talking about our removable material, we are talking about a material that is short term, that shouldn't damage the wall. Now, because of the difference in walls and the difference in paints and events and spaces, wherever you're hiring or wherever you're working, we cannot 100% guarantee that this isn't going to damage your wall. But what we can tell you is that if you've taken every precaution to make sure that you've painted your wall, you've left it enough time after painting, and it's got a good base coat, a good paint, it shouldn't peel off your wall, and it shouldn't damage your wall when it does come to peel off. So that's our removable material. We've then got our permanent material, which is done in exactly the same way, but it's got a much more aggressive adhesive, so it's likely to stay there for a lot longer. We can guarantee that for up to 7 years, but it can go on for much longer, and we've got ones in our office that have lasted longer than that. So that's our permanent material. I'm just going to show you very quickly what that actually looks like. So what we've got here is a removable logo. You can see here that the elements are actually cut out. So in between the letters on this logo and in between the shapes, there's nothing there. We'll then put a layer of application tape over this to make it easy for you to put up on your wall. And basically what that means is that when you peel it off, all of those elements are going to stay where they should on the tape. You put them on the wall and they'll stay where they should be. You would then peel off the application tape, taking that layer off the logo, and then it leaves the logo and just the text and the shapes on the wall. You don't leave a whole box on the wall, just the text. So that's a really great option for both the permanent and the removable options. And these are, guys, these are definitely our most popular options in terms of logos that get bought. And if we were to choose between one or another, we would say the permanent is always a better option because we can guarantee it's going to stay on your wall and look fantastic for a long time. So that's our kind of, that's this. And that's a process that we call print and cut. So that's that one. We then have our Smartstick material. Now, Smartstick is an incredible material that works really, really well because it removes and can go up and be repositionable multiple times. I'm going to show you our Smartstick material. We've printed the same logo onto our Smartstick material. The only difference with Smartstick is that basically we print these onto a box. Now, there are a couple of reasons for doing that. A box like this helps you to be able to move the logo. So imagine you're going to an event and you need to brand your space at your expo. You put your logo up on the wall, and then the event finishes 2 days, 3 days later. You can peel it off, keeping this backing paper. You can put it back on the material, put it back on there, move to another event, put your logo back up there, and the same effect happens, and you can use that and do that over 100 times, in fact. The problem is, if we were to print and cut your logo, like the previous example, you'd have all the different company name letters, you would be having them individual. So you would have to peel off C, O, M, P, and you'd have to place them on the next time you come back to do a logo at another event. You'd have to peel each letter off and stick it again in a new place, with no template and no way to know how to space them out. So the best way for us to use our Smartstick material is to cut it and print it onto a box like this. So this is a great option if you're doing events or you're moving offices shortly, but there obviously are some considerations to take into when you're working with Smartstick. It's amazing material, got some fantastic properties. It's a fabric-like material, so it won't rip or tear, and it can pick up quite a bit of dust and yet still work as a really good sticker. But I hope, guys, that kind of gives you a roundup of our materials. Lastly, we want to basically get you to upload your files straight to our website. So we are looking for Adobe Illustrator files of AI files or EPS files, or you can send us a PDF. But what we need you to do is make sure that those are vector files, so they're vector logos in the PDF or the Illustrator files. You can't just change a logo that says .jpg. You can't just put .ai on the end. That doesn't make your logo into an Adobe Illustrator file. You need to get the original one from your designer or from your marketing department. And the other thing to remember when you're sending us your logo is that you need to make sure that all your strokes are outlined and all fonts are outlined. If we don't have the font that is used in your logo and you haven't outlined your fonts, our machines here will just replace that font with another one. It will tell us that that's the case, and we'll email you, but it's a long process, and ultimately, if you can send us the best file straight away, that would be great. So finally, once you place your order for your company logo, we'll then send you a preview showing you what it looks like, and with a graph saying it's 100 centimeters wide by 30 centimeters high, and you then come back and approve that with us. Once you've given us the go-ahead, we then send your logo to production. From that point, we're then looking at a turnaround time of, as standard, 7 days, but you can reduce that if you want to pay a bit more money and have it quicker. We're happy to do that. So I hope that gives you guys a really good example of how we sell and how you can buy company logos. They're really great for branding your space, particularly in your office or at an event. So I hope that goes a long way to hope to kind of clear up what we do with company logos. I hope that's been helpful. Have a great day. Thanks so much for joining us.